IVUmed's mission is to provide education and service for urology for people around the world, especially in low-resource countries. The need for urology is tremendous everywhere, and particularly in poor countries where there is very little surgical care.
There are 5 pediatric urologists that serve the Intermountain region, about 5 or 6 states here in the western United States. And in sub-Saharan Africa, between North Africa and South Africa, a population of 700 or 800 million people have fewer than 5 pediatric urologists to serve that entire region.
The unique thing about IVUmed is really the education component. There are a lot of service organizations that do great work, but they don't always leave something durable behind.
It's great to do surgery and to help patients in need, but the larger impact you'll see is when capacity is expanded in the host environments.
What we do is work on a smaller scale. We're kind of lean and mean, and we work very intensely with a few people who we hope will develop over time to be the main resources for their region. So that's different from dropping in, providing care, and leaving.
To carry out our mission, we conduct what we call surgical workshops, in which we send a team of specialists, usually surgeons, nurses, anesthesiologists, and other support staff and other specialists, to a host site for between 6 and 14 days. And then we follow up on those workshops with consultations from our specialists here in the States or Europe, wherever they're traveling from, to help our host partners.
Our mission is really education, so the way we do that is to go to the places where people need it.
IVUmed works in countries where our services have been requested. We don't want to be dictating from above because our partners have a better sense of the need in their own communities and within their own institutions. A workshop we started in 2009 in Dakar, Senegal. We trained around 50 medical professionals from 10 African countries, and when their training is complete, they'll return to their countries. So our series of workshops in one city will have an impact in 10 countries.
They need to learn it well enough to become the trainers, and it really takes a team to do that. We're not going to practice. We're bringing expertise from people who have it. But that said, there's still a lot we have to learn. What may work in our home institution doesn't necessarily work quite as well somewhere else, so it brings a level of creativity.
The importance of bringing an entire team together is we can model a team dynamic, the nurses and surgeons communicating effectively, the anesthesiologist playing an effective role.
I think if you don't collaborate on that scale, it's not going to be sustainable. When we leave, they see how a whole team functions together. But that network that we build where people get to know each other and they develop long-term relationships that can be sustained over 15 or 20 years, as many of ours have been. The longest term programs we have are Honduras and Vietnam, and they remain our good partners in many activities.
IVUmed's Teach One, Reach Many motto is embodied by the work of our Vietnamese partners. We have worked with 2 partners to begin with, 2 surgeons who become very competent pediatric urologists. They now train 10 to 15 professionals each year within their own institution, and now they're traveling to other parts of Vietnam to provide training.
Honduras was the first place, and we started there in 1992. Whereas at first we were doing most of the surgery and training, now that's all run by the Hondurans and we just go as support.
Through the surgical workshops that IVUmed put on, they were able to work together and learn together and build a community so that they could refer cases, they could consult with each other, and they could establish a community within Honduras where they could work to address need within their country.
We don't do this work alone. All of us volunteer, but volunteering isn't free.
And our work is made possible by our donors and our members who provide the resources that we need to buy medical supplies, pay for transportation and interpreters and staff, and to get the word out so more people know about what we're doing and the need that there is out there.
People in industry make products that we need. Those products benefit patients, and industry has an opportunity to see how their products can be transformative in new settings. It's a good partnership to bring industry in to see how their products are used in a wider global sense.
Medical professionals should get involved with IVUmed because it's a great opportunity to give back. It's a great opportunity to share their skills in places where it's desperately needed, and it's a great experience.
A lot of people don't talk about the fun aspect of what we do, but I'd say it's really fun. It's a little bit like music or jazz. You have people coming in, they join the set, they learn to play together. It's a large community project. It's not just individuals going off to the far corners of the world and doing this work.
Non-medical people play a special role in IVUmed. They can help raise awareness. They can help talk about the unique need for urological care and the fact that it's not very well known and not talked about.
Sometimes it's publicity, sometimes it's fundraising, sometimes it's just getting out the word.
Urological conditions are unique because they're very, very common, but they're also very, very private. So raising awareness, it becomes a challenge because it's not something that you can show a before and after photograph. Here in the United States, if a child is born with a urological condition, they'll typically get the surgery they need before they'll be old enough to even remember they had the condition when they're 6 to 12 months old. In other places, patients can wait their entire lives, so quality of life is a major issue with urological conditions.
Well, sometimes it's the patients who benefit most, but on these trips, I think we do. Most of these patients haven't gotten any care, and they're grateful to have it. And their expression of gratitude is something that's so touching and so motivating to the doctors and to the nurses that it just keeps us doing it again and again, and traveling far away from our families and our practices, because it's a level of connection that we don't always get even here in the States. There was one time when we were in Cuba. The parents of the children brought us roses, and I've never seen so many doctors in tears, full-fledged surgeons, all in tears, receiving their roses from the parents of the children.
I remember a boy in Zambia who came in with his father for a surgical workshop in Lusaka, and he was born with a condition called bladder exstrophy, in which part of the bladder was protruding through the abdomen. Through a series of surgeries, our professionals worked with our host doctors in Lusaka. They were able to get his condition treated, and he was able to go to school and stay dry and be more active, and the gratitude we saw on his father's face was amazing. And the thousands of other kids who were helped through similar programs and procedures is really why we're here.
Well, I think IVUmed is important on several levels. It's important for the patients because people don't get care in so many parts of the world. They just don't get any care at all. From the doctor's perspective, most doctors don't get training in urology if they're general surgeons. They may get basic urology training, but these are the doctors who mostly care for patients. So when we give them specialty training, they're able to take care of patients in their own countries. From our perspective, we in the more industrialized world, it keeps us connected to the big world. This keeps it real. It keeps us understanding what the whole rest of the world needs in order to provide care.